I hope everyone's well today. Thank you for watching. It is appreciated as always. Housekeeping first of all. Reform UK have had another victory. This one is Graham Middleton in Thetford Castle, and it's the Breckling Council. So well done, Graham Middleton. I'm sure you're going to do good work. Thank you. The Overton window is shifting rightward, and this is on a daily basis now. This is why Reform UK is predicted to get just shy of a 400-seat rump of MPs in the next Parliament, to put it mildly. The digital IDs that the Labour government seems intent on bringing forward has united everybody, the lefties, the righties, the moderates, the crazies, even the SNP, because they don't want to be called British. So it's united everybody, and they're all against this. If you believe that this is to control illegal or legal migration into the United Kingdom, you're wrong. All it is about control. It surprised me last week when I seen that Piers Morgan is now backing Donald Trump and his southern border approach to our migration issue, or our illegal migration issue in this United Kingdom. I want to play a couple of clips first of all to get some context. We had Lisa Nandy from Wigan. She went on the media rounds yesterday and today trying to defend the indefensible regarding the digital IDs. I'm going to play this clip from Question Time first of all, and you'll see her waffle, and you'll see her basically flounder, and she's essentially the sacrificial lamb that Labour's been peddling about today. She's clueless.
That digital ID is the whole solution. Of course I don't. Do I think that we should be pulling every lever at our disposal to deal with this? Yes, I do. And all the things that have been mentioned on this panel, processing claims much more quickly, closing down asylum hotels.
Processing claims quickly, that means waving them through, so the numbers remain the same. They're not fixing the underlying issue, they're literally processing the claims quicker. That's all it does. And by extension, that shuts down the hotels. So you've still got the dinghy divers in the country. The gutless government doesn't do anything to change that, doesn't stem the flow, it just quickens the process. As I've said on my channel previously, the incentives for the people waving these claims through is very strong. It takes twice as long to decline a refugee claim than it does to approve. And if you're in a stats-based environment where you are monitored on key performance indicators, KPIs, your incentives will be to get us through as many as possible, as quickly as possible.
Removing people swiftly who don't have the right to be here.
When they say removing people swiftly, as I've previously stated, this is paying people off, usually criminals and overstays on visas, literally giving them money and getting them out of the country. They are not barred, they can come back and they can just rinse and repeat. Nice little way to make money.
A returns deal with France. All of those things.
But you're already experiencing problems with the lefty lawyers.
I would just say this
the lawyers are stopping you until you leave the ECHR.
Have opposed every single one of those measures. You can't sit here and say there's a problem and then with a straight face
the lawyers are stopping you
and
say, well, you both speak at the same time. No, it is.
Well, perhaps you could let me finish the sentence then. You cannot sit here with a straight face and oppose every single measure that we've put forward to tackle this when you don't have a single one of your own.
He does. They've mentioned it 1,000 times. I'll mention it again. Nobody who comes across the English Channel gets the right to stay. You leave the ECHR, you repeal the ECHR, which was Tony Blair's Human Rights Act 1998, from domestic legislation, and you tell your judges and you tell your judiciary that you want that disapplied, and then you potentially leave the 1951 Convention, UN Convention on Refugees. These are the things that you do. These are the legal obstacles that you can remove. So when Lisa Nandy goes on TV and says, Reform haven't got a plan, they have got a plan. They've been very, very clear about the plan.
So, Richard, I have to say,
you've got to leave the ECHR. You've got lawyers, as we speak, stopping you from returning people to France. You've experienced that in the last. You've done 3, maybe 4. Brilliant. Well done. 50,000 have arrived since the election. Until we leave the ECHR, the Human Rights Act, this will never stop. That is the reality. You've got to detain and deport rapidly.
You're suggesting that by leaving the ECHR, this will solve all the problems. It will be okay. And
It'll stop the lawyers and their lawfare. That's what it.
Yeah, well, we bought a leave everything argument off the leader of your party before. It didn't quite work out the way we were expecting.
He's referring to Brexit. The reason why Brexit didn't go as planned is because you had a parliament full of Remainers. They were not purged from the Tory party, and that means that we didn't really get a Brexit at all. The principle, the idea of Brexit, is sound. The implementation leaves a lot to be desired. We've essentially got a Brexit in name only.
A lot of people have buyer's remorse over Brexit.
Definitely not. I'd vote Brexit tomorrow. Not a problem with that. Now I want to get on to what the video is about, essentially. Trump was over in Britain last week, and he's spelled it out completely correctly. So we're going to play this now. This is what Lisa Nandy doesn't want to do, and this is what she lacks the stomach for. She'll raise the signs to say refugees are welcome. She'll do that. Doesn't cost anything to do that. It's a virtue signal. But when it comes down to actually implementing policies that will solve the issue, no, she doesn't want to do that. Doesn't want to do that.
I think your situation is very similar. You have people coming in, and I told the Prime Minister I would stop it, and it doesn't matter if you call out the military, it doesn't matter what means you use, but it's going to destroys countries from within. And we're actually now removing a lot of the people that came into our country. It's a very hard chore. We were given a very, very bad hand. Millions of people came in from prisons and mental institutions. We have to remove them. And we are removing them. We have no choice, and I feel very strongly about it.
Simple as detain and deport, boats in the channel, problem is solved. Papers for people that shouldn't be here doesn't solve the problem. All this does is it streamlines the process for people getting the right to work. That's all it does. The Labour government wouldn't remove anybody if they've not got a digital ID. All they would do is make them get a digital ID. This is what Piers Morgan said on Question Time last week. This is what I mean about the Overton window. Piers Morgan is an opportunist. I don't think he's got an ounce of integrity in his body, but he knows where the wind is blowing, and that's where he's gone because he wants to preserve his own job at the end of the day as a broadcaster. If the legacy media goes under, which eventually it will, he'll need a platform online, and that's why he's spouting views like this. So it's disingenuous that he's doing this, but it's still welcome because he does have a platform. A lot of people listen to him. So make of this what you will.
And from Donald Trump, a lot. He's actually achieved, you can hate Trump all you like, but you cannot deny what he's done on the southern border in America is a spectacular success. Under Joe Biden, they estimate up to 10 million. They don't know the exact number, but they estimate up to 10 million people in 4 years went over that southern border illegally into the United States. And under Trump, he's pretty well stopped it stone dead. Now, there are aspects of his immigration policy that I think have gone too far that I wouldn't like to see replicated here. I think in America, most Americans think the southern border stuff's been great. Most Americans think if you are undocumented and you get into America and you commit a crime, you should be deported. But most Americans, 2/3 in the polls I've seen, do not like the imagery of ICE agents in America dashing into a Home Depot and
So this is the thing, and this is what bothers the Liberals. The actual results are fine, and this is both in America and in Britain, but they think it's unseemly, or they don't think it's humane, the way that it's being done. So the goal is the same, detain and deport, but the Liberals would have it that you knock on the door with a bunch of flowers and a box of chocolates and ask them nicely to go.
grabbing undocumented people. So I think they've taken that too far, and I wouldn't like to see that here. But would I like to see Trump policies, in other words, zero tolerance, involving National Guard, involving military, involving
So get the army on the streets.
Well,
That's what he likes.
I wouldn't hesitate. Nothing else has worked. You know, why shouldn't we? Why are we so afraid of using the military?
Completely agree. The military's there for a reason. Now, there's more fighting age men coming across the channel than we have in our armed forces currently. And that would be worrying, because if we had the full force of the British Army on the streets actually detaining and deporting people, you might be in for quite a fight. This is why people are shy. This is why the Liberals are shy. They've imported foreign demographics into the United Kingdom, and they group together. And they are afraid that they're going to cause mass riots if they actually police our borders, which is what they should be doing. Now, Lisa Nandy is gone at the next election. That's pretty obvious. Most of the prominent Labour frontbenchers are going to be gone at the next election. They're going to lose their seats to Reform. Do you think I'm right? Do you think that most of the legacy media is going to go under, and the only ones that will survive are the ones that are actually backing the new normal that we're currently in, which is detain, deport, mass deportations, and putting the native British first? Because I certainly do. It seems to be the direction of travel that we're all going. Now, as always, if you like the video, like and subscribe, share about, and I'll see you in the next video. Have a good day, and thanks for your time.